You keep arguing with someone who's already shown you that they're not going to love you the way you need. You keep begging to be heard, chasing clarity, clinging on to that hope that maybe they'll change one day, right? Things might get better. But in reality, if you actually valued yourself and believed in your worth, you would stop trying to convince them. You just let them do what they're going to do, and you would move accordingly based off of how they showed up or didn't show up. So, with that, I'm going to break down the let them theory and how it can really help you, mainly in your dating approach and experience, right? Before you get to a committed relationship. And definitely, if you're in a committed relationship, how to navigate it better to be a lot more stress free for yourself and less emotionally draining and more empowering. So, to make sure we're on the same page about what the let them theory is and is not, because it can be misconstrued sometimes, right? It's simply put, whenever you're not getting the experience that you require or need that you've asked for in a relationship or dating experience, right? Before you get to that commitment, you let someone show you who they are and do what they're going to do, right? You stop fighting for what you require after you've already voiced it, right? You don't keep this uphill battle going. But what it is not is passive, cold, or petty, right? We're not doing this. You don't do it to play a game. It's no game at all involved. No, it's actually emotional discipline. It means observing behavior without chasing explanation, right? So it means you let them walk if they're going to walk. Let them ignore you if they're going to do that. Underlove you, or let them lose you. It means choosing peace over performance. Because always remember, the right people for you in your life will not need to be convinced, and the wrong ones don't deserve to be, right? You shouldn't be convincing anyone that's not fit for you of your value and your worth and what they should do or how they should show up for you. They don't see it and they don't get it. They don't deserve for you to prove anything to them. And the ones that will value you and do value you, you don't need to even say it, right? They're going to show up. They may be a human and be flawed at moments, and maybe they dropped the ball. But if you point it out, or once they realize they did, they're going to want to get on top of their game. They'll probably beat themselves up before you have to keep trying to, beg and plead for the love that you require. Now, if you're actually able to execute and live by the let them theory, right? Your life becomes instantly a lot less stressful, right? A lot of the, dynamics in your relationship and the arguments or debates and things you have around trying to be heard and all the stuff becomes a lot less prevalent, right? A lot less frequent, because you're protecting your peace and staying in your state of zen while still monitoring and what they're doing and what needs to happen after you've already had conversations to address stuff, right? And it puts you in such an empowered position to control your mental, physical, and emotional well-being. And they have your partner or this person you're dating has a lot less influence on that to move you out of your frame and start doing things that don't align with true you, right? But there's one caveat here. Executing the let them theory is really difficult for people who have wounds that they have not healed yet. For someone that still has some internal voids and struggles, it's really hard to let go of that need to feel like they have to do something to earn their love or get that validation or, get the type of experience that they want from someone. You're more willing to fight for it when you have wounds that you're fighting for beyond just the awareness of what you deserve as a person. Because people with self-worth issues fear being replaced. People with abandonment trauma cling harder when they feel ignored. And people raised to prove themselves emotionally choose those who won't give validation, right? It's that wound's, desire to go fight and earn that validation, because that's the foundation and the wiring that that person's been set on. You see, it's not that you love them too much. It's that you haven't healed enough to love yourself more. And so when you're in that kind of a position, you have one of these core wounds or maybe multiples of them, then it makes it really hard for you to sit back and let them show you who they are and then move appropriately, because you have more invested into keeping them around than just the fact that they actually fit you. They actually help you feel or confirm something about yourself, feel good within yourself, in addition to them being a partner to you. That's whenever the ball game gets to be rough and it gets really difficult to actually do what will serve you more, which is be able to stay in your own zen, in your space, in your peace, and not let them move you off your rock so much if they're not going to be the person you require them to be for you to be happy in a relationship dynamic. And this boils down to a scarcity mindset versus abundant self-worth, right? Scarcity says, what if I don't find someone better? Let me fix this person before I lose them. If I try harder or try hard enough, they'll finally see my value. But abundance says, if this person can't meet my needs, someone else will. I don't have to chase what's aligned with me. It's no question. I walk when love stops feeling like love, right? You see the difference there. The scarcity mindset is always thinking about what I'm going to lose, what, dangers will happen, or the position I'll be in without this individual in my life, to where in that very process, you develop a need for this individual. And instantaneously, you're subconsciously more open to letting red flags go by, putting up with the toxic things that you experience more frequently, or you keep on going back and giving it a try. You won't call it yet. You won't walk away because you fear losing something by not being with this person, versus the abundant mentality says, well, if it's not going to be them, it'll be someone else. I'm plentiful in my worth, to where if they won't do the job, someone's out there just dying to do the job, fill their shoes, replace them, right? And you're not held back and chained to requiring them so you can feel okay. And you literally in the space of choosing what's best for your awesome value. It's a big difference. So when you keep complaining instead of leaving and walking away, whenever all the signs are there, or you keep dating that person or whatever, you're not in a relationship or not building one. You're in a cycle, something that's becoming or already is toxic. They keep doing the bare minimum after conflict just to keep you around, right? They weren't doing these things before, but they start doing just enough to keep you on that hook, to make sure you don't leave and don't walk away, right? Because maybe they have wounds too and all these things. And so they reset, you reattach, right? Then they reset again back to their old ways. And the cycle goes on, or you keep going through this emotional drain and mentally wear and tear, right? Until you start getting fed up and you start realizing at some point that you're not actually even there for love anymore. You're like, I don't know why I'm still here. Well, I'll tell you, you're there because you are afraid of starting over. Not out of love for them. Heck, some of you are still convincing yourselves that you actually do still love this person, right? But when asked directly, why do you love them? Why do you still love them? Especially after all the things, you get stuck trying to give a reason, or you got to go through all this analytical thinking to try to break it down. When you have to try hard to explain why you love someone, you most likely don't love them. There's something else driving the attachment for you to them. But the way you start to take your power back is you learn to observe more than explain. When they underserve your emotional needs, let them. When they go silent on you, let them. When they won't change, even after you've calmly asked, right? Keyword calmly, because a lot of you guys come in guns blazing and expect pleasant results, right? But if they don't after you've asked in a respectful, calm manner, you let them. If they don't text you back, let them. If they don't show up for you, let them. Hell, if they want to leave, let them. The point is, if you sat back after you've done your part to articulate what you require and all the things, and you learned the emotional discipline to fight that urge and that impulse to go fight for what you shouldn't have to fight for, what someone should want to give and offer to you, then now you let them continue to show you who and what they are, right? Show you what stage of life they're in and what stage of life they're not in that you may require. So if you think about it, you letting them may be the road of you letting them let you go, right? Letting them lose you. Because it's not to become this like silent punching bag or something like that. And you just, don't speak up for yourself. Again, you should be speaking up to have constructive conversation, to work through and talk through the things and make sure you're on the same page. But after you've done that and it's understood that as to what you require and what you need and what you're asking for, and you're still not getting it time and time again, across a period of time or what have you, then let them do what they're going to do. And now you have to be able to make a decision. You have to make the call on what you're going to do next, right? Instead of you beating your head against the wall and stressing yourself out and fighting and clawing for what you should already be willingly offered. Just let them do what they're going to do, and you move appropriately. Remove yourself if it comes to that point, if that's what becomes necessary and what becomes the solution to you being happy, healthy, and whole, and not having your peace disturbed. Because the moment you stop chasing is the true moment you begin to start healing, if there's anything to be healed, right? So if they disappoint you, let them. If they're going to walk away or whatever, let them. Let them show you that they are not the person that's right for you. Let them show you that they're not fit to be your partner. But for you, you got to start letting yourself believe that better exists and stop convincing yourself that this is the only person for you or whatever, or you'll be by yourself forever. You have to let yourself believe that you can attract better and there's better waiting for you the moment you get who's not right for you out of your way. That you don't ever have to beg to be loved the right way. Let yourself believe that. Let yourself believe that you deserve to be loved the way you deserve to be loved, and you don't have to fight for that, right? Let yourself believe, because it's true if you decide to embrace it, that letting go is actually your greatest act of power and self-love for yourself. It's not a loss, but it's a choice. Big difference. And when it comes to your happiness in your experience, you living in your body and being happy, healthy, and whole, and it comes down to you and the partner you're dealing with, right? Who are you going to choose more, you or them? If you're in a space of needing help to really apply the let them theory, to take your power back and claim your peace and just make more efficient decisions for yourself that will serve you more so you can actually have the love you deserve, if not with the partner you're with now, with the right person when the person you're with currently is not in the equation anymore to ruin that for you, then email or DM me the word coaching and we will get to work as long as you're truly ready to put that work in. Let's get it.